Yep. It's raining even harder now. That's not what you want to see when you're trying to drill a well. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. So I am 1 week into this little back procedure that I had. Still can't go to work. It's Friday, so we made it through 1 week of not reopening that incision. Everything's going good. I am losing my mind, however, trying to just find little stuff that I can do to feel productive but not overwork that. However, if you noticed, I am currently driving, focused on the road first and foremost, but I am headed over to the property because it is kind of a big day for myself and Josh. We're actually getting both of the wells drilled for our new houses over at the property. I don't know about you, but I've never seen a well get drilled. I know in theory how it works. They have a drilling rig, they drill down a certain number of feet, you know, whether it be 150 feet, 250 feet, however far. This is going to be really neat. I've never seen it. The drilling company, Minert, they were over there, started about 9 o'clock this morning. I was helping my brother-in-law and sister pick up some stuff and move it, and by that I mean I hooked the trailer up to my truck and drove them to where they needed to go, and they loaded up furniture while I watched and felt useless. So they're all good, they're all situated, so I'm actually headed over to the property now to meet up with Josh and then John Minert and his guys to see how this whole operation works. So I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too, so stay tuned. I believe, if I understood everything correctly, this is just a casing that they're going to slide in to help keep that hole open. They do it two ways. They'll use metal or they'll use plastic. He was just telling me to get the heck out of the way. But basically, if it's nice stable ground, they'll use plastic, and it helps keeps the cost down. But with this being all strip mined, we have a lot of shale here. So what's happening is, as they're drilling, I guess, sorry, trying to stay out of everybody's way, that hole is caving in a little bit. So they have to use steel to help ensure that this hole is going to stay open, that pump's going to have access to water, so everything like that. So yeah, I kind of want to try to get as much as I can of this film. They're doing Josh's well first, and then they're going to jump over and do ours, provided time allows. So we're walking down here because this was the first spot that they were going to drill. Josh kind of filled me in. I'll have him give you a little bit more information, but ultimately ended up not being ideal. So they moved probably 100 yards uphill to re-drill. All right, Josh, fill us in. What happened? What happened here?
So they started drilling. They got about 30 feet down. You can see it's a 30-foot hole.
Holy cow. No, I see water down there.
Yeah, and the hole, it's actually deeper than that, but the hole was collapsing in on itself. So they said, well, we could just cut our losses and move up this way and see if we can get a better drill. And they could have went all the way through this and just kept going through, and then they would put the steel casing in, and it would be okay. But he said they were going to try to use PVC up there, but they found that they're going to have to use steel anyways. So yeah. We just moved to another drill site, but we got a big old hole here, so
that's crazy.
Fill that in.
That's wild.
Yep.
All right, so they got the piece of steel casing up in the air. Now with the steel, they have to weld together, whereas with the plastic, the PVC, they can just use couplings. So he said the steel is a lot more heavy duty, but it takes longer because they have to put, I think he said 3 layers of welding bead around the seam to make sure everything holds. So I'm not opposed to more heavy duty, that's for sure. All right, so I got all 3 cameras going. Obviously this one for narration. I got the drone right there, giving you guys a good view as you've been seeing. And we got the time-lapse camera. So basically, they had to weld a coupling onto this casing. That keeps all the soot and debris from falling in to the well so that Josh has good water. He put I don't know what it's called, but he put another rod on the end of the drill bit so he can clean the hole out, so that they can slide that casing in and it'll fit nice. So I think they're pretty close to starting to drill again. That's gonna be really neat to see. This whole process is just fascinating. Okay, so I started saying this. My camera started overheating though because I was leaving it laying out in the sun. But basically what they did is they took the first piece of casing, put it in the hole after they welded the collar on. They hoisted up the second piece of casing, and he's welding the 2 pieces together. Now what he has to do is alternate his welds. He has to weld a little on this side, weld a little on this side, weld a little on the back side. That way, that's because if he welds too much too quick, it'll actually heat that pipe up and warp it, and that really messes up the seamings. So doing it a little bit at a time like that really helps to keep those welds nice, keeps the pipe straight, and get back to drilling here, I guess. All right, so I just learned something new actually, and it actually kind of I was wrong what I said first. So basically this piece of pipe that they lowered in, that first line of casing, they welded, I thought it was a coupler that was going on top of another piece of pipe. John just told me what it actually is. It's a hardened piece of steel, bent so that as they're drilling down, if they hit a piece of rock or something that's giving them a problem drilling through, it's not really going good, they can use that, I guess it's a coupler, but not really, that hardened piece of steel, to pick that casing up and down and slam it back and forth off that rock like that, break it up and drill through it. So I'm just learning all kind of new stuff out here today. This is you're gonna hear me say it about 18 more times, but this is so cool. Okay, so we're kind of getting hit with the perfect storm here as they're getting ready to weld on the next piece of 10-foot casing. So there's 2 20s, so 40 feet. This is a 10-footer, so that takes us to 50 feet of casing. we're getting some rain clouds moving in, so we might have to put the rest of this drilling on hold until tomorrow or Monday. Not to mention, all my batteries are dying, and these battery packs aren't maintaining as well as they used to. They used to kind of keep my cameras charged as we were driving. See you, Josh. Or as I was recording, but after just using them constantly for 2.5 or 3 years, I think they might be losing their potency. But either way, we have some juice, so we'll keep filming until we get rained out or till these guys are done. Just about to start drilling, which is what I've been waiting for. And wouldn't you know it, it starts raining. It was just coming down probably twice as hard as what it is now. Still not ideal for drilling with as much rain as we're getting right now, but yeah, it was it just opened up a little bit. So luckily I was able to get all the camera equipment in, including my drone, in the truck before it really started kind of coming down. So all that stuff's safe. These guys are just taking a break, and yeah, we'll hopefully get some drilling footage here momentarily, so stay tuned. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, so what you guys are seeing, the one gentleman explained it to me. Because this property was strip mined, it's making the hole a little bit more difficult to drill. So what happens is once they drill down, because of the way the mining company put the earth back, the hole keeps caving in. That's why they had to switch to steel casing. But another thing that they're having to do is they're having to put a hammer bit on this rig and hammer that casing through all of these cuttings. I asked them what the cuttings were. Is that like the earth that they're pulling up with the drill bit? I guess the cuttings is the name of the soil or rock or whatever that was put back. So I'm still a little unsure of what cuttings are, but all I know is they are hammering this steel casing through the cuttings to get down to where they can start drilling again and bring those you know, fines, whatever they're called, up through that casing and drill it that way. So it's a very interesting process here. That is one big drill bit. That guy's like 6 foot tall. So this is kind of funny because I know not everybody's like me in the sense of like, yeah, I'll talk to a camera and an invisible audience. So whenever they stop their work, I have to ask what's going on and like get a small little lesson on drilling and what they're doing and what stuff's called, so that I can kind of relay it to you guys. So it's a little bit humorous for me. But basically what they're doing is, now that they got the casing hammered in, they can start drilling. They have to put the drill bit back into the hole, and then they have to attach the appropriate number of drill rods, which are stationed here, and then they have spares down on the side there. They have to attach drill rods, you know, to each section, but they have to do it in a way that they just lowered the drill bit in, then they stopped it and kind of put a little stopper or something in there so it doesn't fall in the hole. They'll grab one of these drill rods, screw it on, take that stopper out, lower it down into the hole, and so on and so forth until they can resume drilling. So, pretty crazy process. All right, he's drilling. All right, so John was kind of basically explaining this to me, and there's multiple ways that you can drill a well. The system he uses water. So as they drill, all of that sediment and soot that they're drilling through, all that dirt, all those particles that they need to get rid of, they inject water down into that. I believe it goes straight through the drill bit. I could be wrong about that, but it goes down to the hole and it's pressurized, so it helps to blow all that back up through the top, and that's what you're seeing there, all that water and all that rock and shale and dirt coming up through. So this is crazy. He said he uses water, other companies use air, other companies use foam. He said there's multiple ways that you can do it, but this way that he likes uses water. So I'm blown away with that one, pun intended. All right, guys, so I had to bug out to a meeting real quick, but John and the guys finished up here for the day. Frankly, it's about 4:30 on Friday, so I'm becoming very accustomed to like 12 o'clock quit days on Fridays. But I mean, they did what they could with the time they had. He said they got down about another 12 foot, so I'm actually wondering what my time-lapse camera captured, because I had it sitting up here just running. I feel like I got some pretty awesome drone footage, but John did call me. He said, hey, here's the deal, here's what we're running into. They got down another 12 foot and they just kept hitting more of those same cuts, I think they were called, where it was just caving in. So they need to weld more casings on and hammer it in more, just to help prevent that from falling in. And he's like, hey, look, it's 4:30 on a Friday. My guys are beat. I'm like, John, you're good. You're good, man. Go enjoy your weekend. So I don't know if those guys will be back tomorrow or Monday or whatever, but I'm hoping to be back to work on Monday. So I don't think the time's going to allow for me to come back over here and film them finishing this, even though I would really like to, because I'm having so much fun learning about this stuff and seeing these guys do this. But it was really quite an experience watching everything that I watched. You know, this is a very powerful, very expensive machine, and for it to have the capability to do all the things that it was doing, it's insane. Like I said, it reminded me of the movie Armageddon with Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck. That movie was awesome. But yeah, no, this is really neat. Obviously this is Josh's lot here, so they got his started, hopefully doing mine next week. But either way, I'm pretty psyched to see some progress for at least one of us. But yeah, I mean, without rambling on much more, I want to thank you guys for tuning back into another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. If you like what you saw, please click the like and subscribe. Don't forget to jump over to our Etsy store. There's a link for that in the description. And thank you guys again for all the continued support. The last couple videos, me just kind of dealing with this back surgery recovery, kind of dealing with that. Thank you guys for checking those videos out and helping me keep my sanity. That's part of the reason I want to go back to work next week, is just because I can't handle just the sitting around doing nothing. Like, I can't pick up and play with the girls. I can't, you know, get on a ladder. And I feel like that's because every time I try to move fast or far, I get a really sharp pinching from the stitches. I feel like if those stitches were out, I could like start stretching and getting everything loosened back up. But that's where I'm at, and back to rambling. So thank you guys for the continued support, and I'll see you next time. Have a great weekend.